I just want to start off this interview so that all my viewers and listeners on the radio know what's going on. I'm sitting right now in my attic in Copenhagen. It's around noon. Where exactly are you in the world right now?
I'm in Sydney, Australia right now. So, and it's a night time now here now. So, yeah.
Angus, I would like to start the interview by taking you a little trip down memory lane. I was born in 1980, which means I'm part of the CD generation. Around 89 or something like that, I had to learn to put on a record for the first time. So I go to my uncle's place, and he's a huge rock and roller, and I flip through the record collection there, and I find an album that I find interesting. It's Queen's second album. And I asked him, "What's this?" And he said, "This is one of the best albums in the world, my friend." And so I put it aside and I said, "That's nice." And then I came to the AC/DC Highway to Hell, and I asked my uncle again, "What's this?" And he said, "This is the most dangerous album in the world." I put it on the record player just yesterday to listen to it once again with my 2020 ears, and it struck me that this really still sounds like a fresh rock and roll album. The production is just so on point. In your own words, what do you think that you did which was like so extraordinarily good on the production, the sound, and the songwriting on this album that still, after all these years, it's so good as it is?
Well, if I think back to the time, it's funny, when we made that album, a lot of the songs on that album came from, we had been in America, in the US, and we'd been in actually Miami in a rehearsal room, and I think probably this may sound strange, but we went in on a Friday, and we had been there like a couple of weeks, but like one weekend we had not really done weekends. We kind of worked for the week and said, okay, we'll take Saturday and Sunday off, and but this time we actually said we'll go in on the weekend, and we went on Friday and came out Monday, and we had all the songs ready to go. Yeah.
Wow.
So and the only other, I think we had two other ideas that we had before that we had worked on. Really was only two of the tracks. One was Highway to Hell. We had that one together early, and the other one was Girls Got Rhythm. Those two tracks we'd had in the first couple of weeks, but it was that weekend we ended up. Friday and into the Monday, and we came out with all of the tracks that you got, So, all in all, from that point on, and we had actually been working with there was another guy we'd been working with, but that's the reason why we went on really in the weekend we went into work, because we weren't really functioning with him, so we decided we'd go in on the weekend and work on our own and put it together. And then we were lucky,
Well, it certainly still resonates to this day, and it talks volumes, I think, about how back in the day when some of the very big and now legendary rock and roll bands went into the studio, sometimes you don't need a lot of time to make a great album. Like, just look at the two first ones by Black Sabbath, made within the first year of their career. Was this also typical for your work process in the early days, that an album was something that you could actually go and finish over a weekend or a week?
Well, it's probably because, at that time, we were really, we were abandoned, we went from one thing to the next so quick. You were touring, and the next thing you were going, okay, we got to do an album. We've got X amount of time, and so a lot of things moved so fast, and And that was with Highway to Hell, because immediately after that weekend, you know, my brother Malcolm talked to Mutt Lang, the producer, and he had, you know, he said, well, get me a cassette of what you got together, you know. He got that to him quick, within a couple of days. And then he said, right, we'll hook up in London. So we then had to, you know, pack our bags and get on the plane and get to London and England. And then we got in the studio there, and it was, you know, we had I think a couple of days, 2 days with him in a little rehearsal place. And then from that point, we were into the studio, and it was a case of just getting the sound together. And then once we got the sound, he, you know, you get into the songs, and so it was, and it went quite rapidly. So that was good. Yeah.